Hello everybody, welcome back for another video. Hope you're all doing well and that you are all having a great day. To start things off, there is some very interesting news about Ethereum going on. Ethereum is taking the problem of scalability very seriously with a possible decision of skipping Casper, the friendly finality gadget that is the proof of stake system that they were thinking about moving to focus directly on the development of sharding. I know a lot of people do not like that word. Sharding is the most critical scalability solution proposed by Vitalik Buterin and consists of subdividing the blockchain into small parts according to the needs that arise. Casper is a scalability solution that proposes the move from proof of work to proof of stake, saving resources and increasing transaction efficiency. But one of the problems with proof of stake is the possibility of a higher level of centralization, something that the Ethereum community seeks to avoid at all costs. Currently, Ethereum uses a proof of work consensus algorithm. However, the network has grown so much due to the support of token that right now, counting Ethereum and the many ERC20 tokens, it handles more substantial transactions than the Bitcoin network itself. This not only caused Ethereum's mining to grow exponentially, but also increased concerns for efficient resource management. Casper was one of the first proposed solutions. Previous studies had also shown that the energy consumption of Bitcoin and Ethereum proof of work is a real problem. We spoke about this before. There are a lot of countries who are actually stopping people from mining crypto in their countries because they said it is taking up more energy to mine certain coins in these mining farms than certain cities are actually using in an entire month, which is kind of insane. The implementation of a proof of stake protocol eliminates this solution by using a form of validation that in turn promotes savings and avoids inflation. However, this type of second layer Ethereum scalability proposal have evolved in their own pace, making it difficult to keep a uniform follow-up of all the projects that developers are working on. So a few hours ago, Reddit user Royal Naruto published a post in which he mentioned the possibility of a joint release of Casper and sharding proposals. It shows a video of Vitalik talking about a Casper plus sharding validator that you see right here. In the absence of an official statement, Reddit users were literally talking about amongst themselves, trying to figure out exactly what he was proposing, with one of them saying, he said, "This is bound to be confusing to many people." He said, Vitalik is describing Casper and sharding in this video. This is staking with 32 Ether that will occur after sharding has been launched in a Constantinople upgrade that will occur after late 2019 when Casper has run its course. He said Casper is the first proof of work system that could start as early as August 2018. I have not heard this date before. I wish it would hurry up and actually do that very soon, and requires a minimum of 1,500 Ethereum to stake. He said it would be a mistake to watch this video and develop an understanding that staking with 32 Ether is going to happen very soon. Staking with 32 Ether is second stage staking. So we actually have an actual answer. Answering this comment, Justin Drake, one of Ethereum's researchers teams, responded clarifying the situation, but with a surprising statement as well. He said, apologies for the confusion. We are considering changing the Ethereum 2.0 roadmap to skip Casper with 1,500 Ethereum deposits. Instead, Casper and sharding validators would be unified from the get-go in the beacon chain, and deposits would be 32 Ether. There's more information in the Ethereum research reply. It's a recent and unconfirmed direction, but one we are taking seriously. If this situation were confirmed, the development of Casper would be put on the side as it would become unnecessary due to the implementation of sharding. The use of a beacon chain and a unifying factor would between both protocols simply seek a kind of guidance to make transactions processing more efficient. Still no 100% clarification on this, but as it stands, the way that it sounds, at least to me, I'm not sure if I was just reading this because I have high hopes. It seems that the 1,500 will be done away with as they're trying to just skip straight to sharding. Even with the unified thing, that deposits will be down to 32 Ethereum. This would change things completely because a lot of people, when they were talking about the implementation of proof of stake on the Ethereum blockchain, the original idea was, people said you may need 500 Ethereum, you may need 1,000. 1,000 was like, okay, I don't think they would do 1,000. And then they said 1,500, and it kind of backed a lot of people off. People were saying, not many people have 1,500 Ethereum to lock up in a proof of stake protocol. If it's being dropped down to 32, this would completely change, and this would also alter the price of Ethereum completely, because a lot more people would have access to 32 Ethereum as opposed to 1,500. Like I said, still no actual clarification. We did get information from Justin Drake on this, which is great to have actual response from one of the team members on this. But like I said before in previous videos, we used to not hear that much about Ethereum. If we did, it was maybe like once a week. I think they're posting a lot more, or talking a lot more, and doing a lot more, conferences around the world, because of what is supposed to be happening within the next couple of weeks at this point. SBI is launching, which could give a huge boost to XRP, which could knock Ethereum out of the number 2 place. EOS, at the time of me at least making this, their mainnet has launched and they're voting at this very moment. So this is also proposed that it will one day be able to push by Ethereum. So all the other coins that are quicker and, I don't want to say more stable, but that pose a threat to Ethereum are moving closer to their threat and being able to actually execute it. So this is why I think they're trying to, or at least talking about pushing past the proof of stake, because they don't really care that much about it, and they're more focused on Ethereum being able to brag that it's capable of doing 1 million transactions per second, because that is going to be the complete game changer. I still believe if Ethereum is able to do 1 million transactions per second, and even then, Vitalik said a couple of days ago that he actually believes it could be able to do 100 million transactions per second. That would put Ethereum as the number 1 coin on the market. No question in my mind about that. Next up. The case for various cryptocurrencies edging out regular fiat currencies as preferred mediums of facilitating the purchase of goods and services has been discussed numerous times since crypto became popular mid last year. The latest move by American universities to invest small amounts of their funds into Bitcoin proves that there's a paradigm shift as to where investments are heading. Niall Ferguson, a noted historian, accomplished author, and commentator, made a bold prediction that Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies were the financial system of the future. There was a theory put forth before that Ripple XRP stood the best chance at becoming the reserve currency of the numerous global central banks it had partnered with. At the moment, they have partnered with between 40 to 50 different central banks around the world. XRP was highly liquid with a high supply of coins available, and that the International Monetary Fund had advised global banks to adopt with the times or risk being left behind. Similar sentiments have been echoed by the CEO of Lazard, Kenneth M. Jacobs, who said that the foreign policies of the United States could result in the US dollar slipping from the top position of being the preferred global reserve currency. He said, to the extent that we have unilateral foreign policy and unilateral trade policy, we're sort of tempting the world to find an alternative. Probably the greatest demonstration of soft power is the fact that the US has the reserve currency of the world. He also said, there's enough technology out in the world today with cryptocurrencies and changes going on that you can imagine, if you let your mind wander a bit, that something becomes an alternative in the future. About a year and a half ago, there was a huge shakeup. It had to be a year and a half ago. I think Obama was still president, if I'm not mistaken, where there was a huge meeting between many other of the major companies. I believe it was countries. I believe it was France, Germany, if I'm not mistaken, not 100%. I think it was India, China, Russia. I want to say Japan and someone else. And the meeting was pretty much that they were thinking of having the Chinese currency, I forgot the name of it at the moment, to be their new reserve currency, or that there was something with a Chinese bank that was working to make China the new reserve bank, because the US dollar has lost a lot of value. And this a lot of the people who have been making these predictions have been former economists. I don't just give you guys news of random people, even like John McAfee. A lot of people don't like what he has to say, but these people have studied finance at some point. And there are a lot of economists who are coming forward, and this is why we have constantly these predictions saying that they believe that Bitcoin within the next 2 years, which is mind-boggling, will become some type of reserve currency, at least for some of these smaller countries, and then eventually will evolve to the point where Bitcoin will become the one world currency. Don't know if that's going to happen. Not going to get my hopes up. It would be kind of cool, not going to lie. But this is constantly in the news more and more, as a lot of people have lost faith in government issued currencies. They're all but worthless now. They keep printing them. But when you have a system of cryptocurrencies that are set and pegged at a certain number, you cannot create any more Bitcoin. The same thing with Ripple and all the other ones. Even if they do allow some type of mining to create more of the coins, the normal rate of inflation is still only around 1% of new coins that are being issued every single year, as opposed to trillions of extra dollars that are being thrown onto the market. But not to spend too much time on this, this is a huge discussion that's going on. And it would be quite interesting to see if within the next 12 years, by 2030, when all these predictions have been, they all say 2030, if we actually have one of these cryptocurrencies right now that's floating around $150, $300, $400 that ends up becoming the new global reserve currency. Think about how absolutely crazy that would be. Next up, China is in the news. Not surprised by this at all. There are indications that the Chinese government may be looking towards revisiting its controversial ban on cryptocurrency trading in favor of regulating the market. A May 30th, 2018 editorial on globaltimes.cn, which is a news website owned by People's Daily, China's official Communist Party newspaper with a global circulation of nearly 3 million, made a sign that the government's stance on crypto trading may be changing. This is significant because if you do not keep up with politics and or China controls everything in their country. And I don't mean like some things, I mean like everything. Like, I won't go into exactly what they plan on doing, but they make sure that they control everything. So anything that's put out to the public is something that they have pre-approved. So when you have a newspaper that's owned by the ruling party that says that they may be, eventually let go of their ban on cryptocurrencies, it kind of holds a lot of weight. Since the People's Bank of China imposed the ban on local and foreign cryptocurrency exchanges and ICO websites earlier this year, there have been contradictory signals about the future of crypto in China. On the one hand, a speech by the Chinese Central Bank Governor Zhu Jingqiao, if I'm not mistaken, in March 2018 seemed to indicate the government sees digital assets as an unavoidable step in the evolution of money. He stated that the replacement of the paper money and coins by digital assets was inevitable, and he further revealed that the People's Bank of China was studying Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies in order to help in issuing its own digital currency. On the other hand, in that same month, it was reported that the government crackdown on crypto trading went as far as blocking social media accounts linked to trading platforms. I think that's just because, like I said, they try to control everything and they want only certain information to get to their people. So they've actually blocked many other social media platforms before. I'm pretty sure Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and Skype, and like 30 other things are not allowed in China. So this is probably why these things were banned. With this editorial, however, comes the strongest indication that the Chinese government may be willing to relax its own ban on cryptos and engage the market with its own regulations. Traditionally, editorials in the People's Daily newspaper are not regarded as purely the independent thought of selected journalists, but as the authoritative statements of policy by the Chinese government, either by the purpose of informing the public or to test public reaction. Like I just said, China is a very interesting place. I said this before in many other videos. I'm pretty sure that they're moving towards it. Remember 5, 6, 7, 8 videos ago, there was news that China had a not a globally televised, it was a nationwide televised event that went on for like 8 hours where they were literally talking about the benefits of blockchain. Doesn't that seem kind of weird that you would have that in a country where you're banning cryptocurrencies and all this, also the other things that have been flowing out of their newspapers? I'm all but certain they're definitely at this point going to allow it. But I said before, it won't be the coins that a lot of people think. There's no way on this earth China is going to allow 1,600 different cryptocurrencies. I'm going to assume that they're only going to allow a select handful, and this is going to lead us into the next story. This, I think, is the craziest news I have ever heard in my entire life. Where do I even begin? So, Thailand Security and Exchange Commission, or their SEC, has revealed a comprehensive framework for the regulation of the country's cryptocurrency market. The laws cover ICOs, approved cryptocurrency trading pairs, that's kind of weird, and licensing fees for market operators. The regulations, which were announced on the 8th of June, come into effect later in the month. In May 2018, Thailand banned ICOs while waiving the previously planned 7% VAT or value-added tax on cryptocurrency transactions. The new ICO regulations reverse the ban while stipulating strict conditions that must be met by future ICOs. According to the SEC decree, companies looking to conduct an ICO must signify the type of token being issued, as well as other pertinent investment information. The decree also stipulates that ICO portals must oversee their offerings for at least 1 year while having a minimum base capital of 5 million baht, around 157,000 US dollars. The decree also says each ICO offering can be offered to institutional and ultra-high net worth investors at an unlimited investment amount, but the investment is capped at 300,000 baht for retail investment per person and per ICO project, or no more than 70% of total value of offered tokens. This is echoing exactly what Russia did. They said, I believe, that ICOs are allowed in the country, but if you're an institutional investor and you have billions of dollars, you can do whatever you want. But for normal people, they're only allowed 300,000 baht, which is kind of a kick in the face, but it gets worse, I promise you. Sequel to the May 13th, 2018 rulings that virtual currencies that are classified as digital assets, the Thai SEC has approved 7 cryptocurrencies to be used as trading pairs. They are Bitcoin, Bitcoin Cash, Ethereum, Ethereum Classic, Ripple, Litecoin, and Stellar. That's it. Think about that. According to the Thai SEC, these currencies were chosen based on their credibility and liquidity, among other parameters. 10 companies are expected to apply for operating licenses, 5 of which are exchange platforms, and the other 5 are broker-dealer firms. Cryptocurrency exchange platforms must apply for a license before August 14th, 2018. When I saw this, my jaw dropped, and this is exactly what I said before. If you've been paying attention, I know I ramble on and continue talking forever. I said when these countries, especially the ones who are more stringent and they want to be able to control exactly what's going on in their country, they're only going to allow certain coins. These are exactly the coins that I expect China to also allow. Bitcoin can be tracked, Bitcoin Cash can be tracked, Ethereum can be tracked, as well as Ethereum Classic, Ripple definitely, Litecoin, and Stellar, if I'm not mistaken, can also be tracked. Some of these coins said that they would plan on making themselves more private, and they're implementing something like Monero and Dash, where the transactions would be cloaked in a certain way so you couldn't find them. Those have all been put on the back burner for at least 5 years. When I saw these 7, this literally confirms in my head exactly what I thought was going to happen. This is going to be mimicked by a lot of other countries. Like I said, we do not need 1,600 coins, but I don't know if even 7 is enough. But these 7 coins are well known enough by these countries and that they can be tracked and or traced, that this is why they're kind of being allowed. The other thing that I believe is also going to happen is that eventually in the US and around the entire world as well, because of all of this talk about manipulation and all these other things about cryptocurrency, not black market trading, but the manipulation in prices and, people selling $100 million per time, I think there's going to be a cap on exactly how much you can trade per day. And I have a strong feeling for institutional investors, it'll be capped at around $100,000 per day. And for normal people, I'm going to say anywhere from $5,000 to $20,000. This is just what I'm thinking, but it seems like this is the way to go. There's a lot of talk about the manipulation in the market, and I think they're actually going to become serious with this. I don't know if it's happening on purpose in that, these wild and crazy fluctuations of the price are something so they can kind of, jump in and say, no, this cannot happen. But I'm pretty sure they're going to put a limit on cryptocurrency exchanges because they know they cannot limit normal transactions between me and you. We can send money back and forth however we like. But when it comes to exchanges, things that they're actually able to control and or dig deep into their files and pay attention to, I have a feeling a monetary cap per day and per month will eventually be put in place for all cryptocurrency exchanges around the world. Like I said, this is probably the craziest news of the entire day. They only allowed 7 cryptos to be legal in their country. Next up, Canada is in the news with more laws. The Canadian government has released an official draft of new regulations on crypto exchanges and payment processors, the Canada Gazette reported on June 9th. According to the draft, the new regulations seek to address a number of deficiencies that the Financial Action Task Force, the FATF, outlined at their evaluation in 2015 and 2016, namely in the strengthening of Canada's anti-money laundering and anti-terrorist financing regime. This is what all governments constantly talk about. I think they've literally lost any type of other argument against cryptocurrencies except for these things right here. The new regulations will treat crypto exchanges and payment processors as money service businesses, or MSBs, which requires them to report large transactions, those over 10,000 Canadian dollars or 7,700 US, and a new know your customer threshold set at transactions of over 1,000 Canadian dollars, similar to what I just said in the other thing. Anything above a certain threshold, they'll definitely want to know. It's the same exact thing if you live in any, I don't know, like major country or something like that. When you try to deposit any more than like 1,000 or like 10,000 per day, there's like a red flag that goes up that you can't see, because they usually want to know why you're depositing or taking out this much money. The draft also contains a cost benefit analysis, which reveals the regulations would cost about 61 million Canadian dollars over the next 10 years. Francis Pouliot, co-founder of Montreal-based blockchain consulting firm Catalaxy, tweeted his response to the draft saying, "New requirement, large virtual currency transactions record, meaning businesses required to ask for and keep details of every transaction over $10,000, like large cash transaction reports. That's going to be extremely difficult and invasive to implement. I will object to this." You may object all you want, but I think we're coming to a head when it comes to regulations. Every country has been releasing what they wanted to say, and I think they're all doing it before America. Correct me if I'm incorrect, but this seems like exactly what's happening. We've had news from at least 35 different countries over the last couple of weeks, all of them reporting or saying exactly what they plan on doing to cryptocurrencies and who can use it, who can't use it, what money can flow between it. Things with exchanges, they've all been coming down hard on exchanges and or stopping exchanges and or allowing certain exchanges that have gone through them. And this seems to be the next step, and I think that the US will be the final, I don't want to say nail in the coffin, that sounds too dark. They'll be the final one to come forward to give their official rules while everyone else has done it kind of beforehand. This seems like what it's going on, what's happening, at least to me. To finish this off, Litecoin is in the news, and it's something a bit surprising. Let's see. Litecoin is currently the 6th largest cryptocurrency by market capitalization, having fallen from grace in recent months. However, some cryptocurrency analysts claim Litecoin is due for a resurgence preceding mass adoption. Litecoin has taken a back seat lately, yes it has, particularly following the failure of LitePay and the increased hype surrounding EOS's mainnet launch, which has officially happened. They're still voting right now, like I said, with some questioning whether or not LitePay is even worth it, while Bitcoin continues to reign supreme. TMT Blockchain Fund's Gabriel Francisco, however, believes Litecoin will become one of the first cryptocurrencies to actually gain mainstream adoption for shoppers. He told express.co.uk, "Poised on the brink of greatness, Litecoin is preparing for a breathtaking moonshot. Dubbed the Rock at times, this clone of Bitcoin has actually shown incredible market resilience and price inertia. Pegged at 84 million coins, Litecoin is 4 times faster than Bitcoin and has 4 times the supply. In other words, Bitcoin is to gold what Litecoin is to silver." In Francisco's view, Bitcoin will continue to be used as a store of value for investors, while Litecoin will actually be used in stores. He explained, "Bitcoin will be used as a store of value, and Litecoin will be one of the first real-world cryptocurrencies to be used to purchase goods and services. This year and the gradual global adoption of cryptocurrencies will see Litecoin retesting and if not breaking its previous all-time high." Francisco's comments follow the new Pay with Litecoin campaign, which, as the name implies, aims to make Litecoin a payment method everywhere money is accepted. Luke Shipley, co-founder of Rblock, is also of the belief that Litecoin is set to explode, as he is apparently buying what Pay with Litecoin is selling. Everyone in the core Litecoin camp is speaking very positively at the moment. They are very publicly having a marketing drive with their view to achieving wider market adoption. It reached highs of over $330 in January, and many have been tipping it to go on a bull run once again. If Litecoin is successful in its new adoption campaign, I think it will make a move back to the 3rd largest cap crypto. Let's see if that's going to happen. I don't know if I can see Litecoin being number 3 again. Between Bitcoin, Ethereum, EOS, and Ripple, I could see Litecoin sitting in the top 5. That I could definitely see happening. When it comes to actual adoption, or especially when it comes to actual hype, that the top 3 coins and EOS has. Litecoin at the moment doesn't even have as much hype as Tron. It could happen. No one knows what's going to happen in this market. Not one single person. Don't let any one person tell you that the market is going to do X, Y, or Z. Not one person knows, so it definitely could moonshot in the near future. This is actually not a this is not a new discussion. A lot of people think that at some point the Litecoin is going to be 1/4 the price of Bitcoin, which would be incredible. And they also say that the belief is, a lot of people think because Litecoin can actually deal with microtransactions, especially if it has plasma built on top of it, that Bitcoin will continue to be the literal store of value, that no one is actually using it. People just holding it because they're afraid of losing it and or spending it, and then the price goes up. But Litecoin is aiming to be the everyday coin. It would be kind of cool if that actually does end up happening. I would not object to it. But let's see if it can break out from its current shell right now. Alrighty, everyone, that is 1000% going to do it for this video. There's a lot of very interesting news going on. Kind of surprising. You usually don't get tons of news out of the weekend, but here we are. Hope you guys enjoyed. Hope you guys have a great day, morning, afternoon, evening, wherever you are, wherever you might be. I hope it's amazing. Hope you guys find money in the street. Hope you guys have a great day. Hope the crypto prices go back up as high as possible. And I will talk to you all soon. See you.